Hello and welcome to this next episode of Tea and Drum. What I want to about today is habits and patterns and coincidences. Basically, I think that coincidences are God, pretty much. I pretty much equate those two. Whatever it is that connects people to the point where you meet the person that gives you the next clue on your life. Um, and the coincidences that happen where you're thinking about something, you just started learning about a topic, and then all of a sudden, like, you hear your friend say something about it, and they like mention an author or something, you're like, cool, you check out them, and it's like breadcrumbs. So that's pretty much what I think God is. There's something that's connecting people in a way that is really unexplainable. I think science is kind of explaining it with like quantum whatever. I don't really know what they're all saying, not to be honest. I'm not really a science guy. But the patterns, well, there's the patterns in nature, which are really cool and which we're kind of modeling our own lives after in a way. Like the streets. Well, different countries do that differently, but we're kind of modeling, like, we have our solar panels, which are like the leaves of a tree. Excuse me. The veins in your blood are like rivers. So it's like you see patterns kind of all over the place, and it's like it just makes you think a little bit. And then habits. Those create problems for people, and they form so easily if it's something easily, and they're very hard to stop. Smoking, drinking, complaining. Those are all very hard, and I think patterns like that, where you're habitually doing something over and over again, come from some type of belief, which then creates a need. Like, if your belief is that, you're a really boring person to talk to, and the only way to do that is to drink, then that creates the need for you to drink because you want to be cool, and then that can go that can play out in many different ways. You can end up alcoholic, you can end up with all the wrong type of friends who just like you when you're drunk and never talk to you otherwise. And then you miss out on what it is that your lack of kind of not creativity, but your lack of interest. Because if you have interests, and if you're a generally interested person where you try to learn, you're not going to be boring, even if it's a slow change. Because I feel like the only boring people are the ones who aren't interested in anything. And everyone's interested in some things, but then again, it comes to those beliefs we have where it's like, oh, I don't want to be a nerd, even though I'm really interested in like magic tricks, but I don't want to be a nerd. And then later you're complaining that you don't have friends, but you're too afraid to admit what your interests are. Um, so yeah, it's a lot of the beliefs come from childhood, and those are the hardest ones to change, honestly. because the thing about a habit is that it gets stronger and stronger. And the same with a belief. A habit of thinking a certain way is really all that is. Like you might hold a belief in your head, but every time you act on that belief, it gets strong. The belief gets stronger, and the tendency to do those same actions that are in line with that belief gets stronger and stronger. And science is proving this with the myelin sheath, MYELIN, I think. It's basically how, like, the pathways in your brain associated with certain habits. I think they've studied like the obvious ones like cocaine in mice or something. Like, you're more likely to use those same pathways in your brain if you've experienced the pleasure from it. Those pathways get like, I don't know if it's bigger or like wider. I don't really know how neurotransmitters go in the brain. But yeah, your brain literally changes its shape, and I mean, obviously this is like microscopic or even smaller than that. I don't know how they're able to detect it, but yeah, your brain will, it's like, I think of it as forming grooves, like erosion, kind of like if water is falling down this certain path down a hill, it's just going to keep getting bigger. And the only way to stop that is to do contrary action. So you're at a party, you want to drink because you feel like you're bored, but then you just decide, okay, like, I'm going to be myself. And if someone asks me what I'm interested, I'm going to say magic. And come what may, you know. So, yeah. What beliefs do you hold? Are they true? And what patterns of what habits do you have that support those beliefs? And if you change your belief, what contrary action are you going to take that goes against that old belief and is more in line with the new belief? And at this point, I feel like the only thing lacking for me is the dedication to change my habits. I've been using a lot of nicotine, like smoking and vaping, and I picked that up like so quick. Like, I wasn't doing it at all, and then I just like got into it like a month and a half ago. I've never really been a smoker. I've maybe bought like 24 packs of cigarettes in my life. This is the first time I've actually bought a vape for the nicotine juice. But it's crazy how, I guess, it just picked up where it left off, even though, I don't know. That's a hard one. Actually, I'm doing pretty good on the coffee. I'd quit that, like, easily. Because I noticed that it was making me pee like every 30 minutes and keeping me up at night, and like making me almost like constipated in a weird way. It was messing up my stomach, so that's really what made me, like, yeah, that one, the belief is, okay, this is gonna cause me to feel bad, so I'm gonna stop it. See, that's easy, but the things that you can't tell make you feel bad, like when you, or that it's kind of more subtle, or it's emotional and you're not used to feeling emotions, like, okay, like this person asked me what I'm interested in, and I lied and said like football or something, because I could tell he was into football, and then you walk away from the conversation feeling like you cheated yourself or something, but you're like, oh, whatever, like, I just don't feel great, but no, you lied, and you didn't express a part of yourself, so that's why you feel bad. And are you going to change that habit so that you can feel better about being honest about what you're actually interested in? Or are you going to continue the habit of saying, okay, well, I'd actually just try to be cool and try to like what everyone else likes because my interests aren't that important, and I'm willing to lead a false life in order to hopefully gain the approval of other people. So it's all about, I think it really is all about your desires, conscious or subconscious. Like, the desires can be so deep down in your unconscious mind. Like, you take certain actions because really, really deep down you just want to be accepted, or you just want to be loved, and you think this acting in this way will make you be loved. And then there's the thing about addictions, like addictions is just a symptom for something else that's going on. So it's not like, oh, I'm just going to quit drinking and then my life will be better if I don't change anything else. But something about you made you want to drink alcohol, so you weren't living right before then if the only way you knew how to feel happy was to drink. And then maybe you'll figure that out quickly or not so quickly after getting sober. The more quickly you figure out, the more likely it is that you're going to stay sober. And then maybe you don't actually have the problem with alcohol to that degree, and you can still have a beer, once or twice a week, or, something that's not getting drunk, But it's so hard to change a habit or to start a new habit. It's so fucking hard. And I don't know why. I really don't. Yeah, there's the brain chemistry part of it, where your it likes, having a habit to follow. So if you have a bad habit, it's going to more likely follow that habit. But I can't wrap my head around why it's so hard to start a new habit. I just can't figure it out. Why is it so hard? It's so hard for me. It's just so, like, I don't understand it. It's so annoying. I can't understand it. I cannot understand why it's so hard to stop procrastinating and to choose better habits. I cannot figure it out why that's so freaking difficult. And it's really bothering me. Thank you for watching, and enjoy your day. Finally, the sun's out, so I'm happy about that. All right. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it may be.